on, stop what you're doing. Today is Cyber Monday, and that means that we've got deals. We've got deals on wheels, we got deals on tires, we got deals on all sorts of stuff, including 50 times entries into our giveaway for our Super Duty. You can check all that out at customoffsets.com/Cyber Monday. There are things that you just learn with age, where things like why the lines at the DMV take so long, or why on earth you'd want to pay someone to do your taxes, or better yet, how to navigate your way through an airport to find the terminal for your departing flight on time. Now listen, a quick little hint here, if you're like me who was 24 freaking years old before I hopped on a plane for the very first time, follow the signs, and when in doubt, use Google Maps. It's fantastic the amount of information you can find in that little app, including where the closest Starbucks is, so you can pay $10 for a caramel macchiato, or where the closest Chili's is so you can get a double whiskey and Coke at like 9 in the morning. Right. Maybe one of the best things that we've learned over the years, though, is that there is a difference between building your truck and building your truck the right way, and not every part out there is actually as helpful as they advertise. This one is true for a lot of things, but one of the biggest areas that this holds especially true is in the world of performance parts. Not all parts are created equal when it comes to performance parts, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about that. I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets. You guys can follow me on the gram at dusty.co. And today we're having a quick little chat about performance mods that you should maybe avoid, right? Because they maybe don't do a good job. And then instead we'll make a few recommendations that we've learned actually do it the right way. Also, if this is your first time with us, then hi, my name's Dustin, and we started Custom Offsets way back in 2013 because we loved building trucks. So, we made this cool little thing called a gallery where you can see quite literally over 100,000 different builds with all sorts of wheels and tires and suspension setups. We started with wheels and tires, and then we went into lift kits, and more recently we expanded into carrying other products like headlights and taillights and bumpers and even some performance parts, because let's face it guys, nobody likes to have a slow truck. You can check all of that out at our website by going to customoffsets.com or by clicking the link, which is right here. Let's get right into this, shall we? This is by no means a comprehensive list. When it comes to performance mods out there, there's a fair bit of magic snake oil that promises horsepower gains and all that jazz, but for best results, you're gonna wanna look at companies that have actual technical tested data behind their products. Show me the Carfax! Also, Ecoboost, guys, you're going to want to stay tuned. There's a spicy one a little bit later in the video, and you're gonna wanna know about it, okay? You're gonna wanna know. Right off the bat here, let's have a conversation about exhaust. If you're a younger guy or gal, I know that you want the loudest exhaust that you can possibly get, because that's how you know you're cool, even if it means that you sacrifice the tone of your exhaust. I've been there, I was there. Banker, he's still there. He literally had his Silverado for like 15 minutes before he was under with a Sawzall just hacking the muffler out of it and letting the pipe just hang out there like the awkward third wheel at the county fair. I also remember the day that I decided to cut the muffler out of my 1992 GMC Sierra 1500. I was 16 years old and my parents were pissed. I remember cutting the pipe off and thinking to myself mid-cut that my dad is gonna kick my ass, and guess what? I was right. Here's why you might not want to do that, right? For starters, having the exhaust dump right underneath the cab means that all that noise from your exhaust is gonna rattle around under the cab, and it means that at highway speed, you're gonna have this neat little noise that we call drone, where the exhaust is so loud and is at just the right frequency where it literally hurts to think. Probably more importantly than that, though, is if you shorten your exhaust too much, it's going to actually take away horsepower, as your engine isn't actually expelling all of the hot exhaust gases that it needs to. This can lead to things like burnt exhaust valves, and overall just is not a good time. Now, with all that being said though, we know all too well the desire to make your truck sound good. I mean, it's why I literally straight pipe my Duramax. For this reason, we'll always recommend a full exhaust system. Companies like MBRP and Diamond Eye are gonna make full exhaust systems for your truck for just a few $100 and are going to save you some headaches down the road. Plus, if all of that wasn't enough for you, these full exhaust systems are also gonna make sure that you have a tailpipe and possibly an exhaust tip hanging out the side of your truck, so you're less likely to have to deal with the local PD when you take off from a stop sign. It depends on where you live, right? But I know here in Wisconsin, as long as you have a tailpipe and an exhaust system and you're not driving like an asshole, they generally leave us alone. On the complete other side of things, both literally and figuratively in the sense of the word, are intakes. When it comes to measuring up, not all intakes are created equally. Now, specifically here, we're talking about short ram or ram air intakes that were all the hype just a few years ago. If you're unfamiliar, these are aftermarket intake systems that are designed to replace your factory air intake with a short, straight piece of pipe and then a big-ass cone filter. Now, sure, they look cool, right? But take it from me, they don't actually work. They just don't. Well, yes, these intakes are less restrictive than most factory intakes in most cases. They don't actually help you gain any power. This is because while they may flow better because of their short length, they're actually pulling air from all around your engine, which is hot, and hot air is no bueno when it comes to making power inside the cylinders. The warmer the air, the less dense it is, right? The less dense the air is, the less oxygen that it contains, and thus you're gonna make less power because you've got less oxygen for the fire truck, just the way it is. For this reason, if you're looking at an aftermarket intake system, you really wanna look for a complete system with a closed air box. Companies like S&B, AFE, and of course the one and only Banks Power are going to make complete intake systems for your truck that are going to include all the necessary piping, the intake box which mounts off to the side there, and then the big filter, so you can be sure that not only are you getting more air, but that it's cooler and cleaner than the hot air that's chilling under your hood, and ultimately it'll actually help you get more power for your money with your intake. It's just the way it works, guys. We can't make this up. All right, Ecoboost guys, it is your time to shine here. I told you that we had a little tip for you on a little spicy boy, and here it is, right? Let's just chat about tuners for a moment. I know how much you guys love to tune your truck because let's face it, forced induction just makes flash tunes that much better. The modern engine management systems of the last decade have made tunes more popular than ever before, especially when you have one or two of the little spoolie boys like you Ecoboost guys do. Simply plug in some new hardware and then bam, you're making more boost, getting more fuel, and all of that translates to more ponies that you can use to burn the tires off your pickup on the Friday nights. Who doesn't love a good burnout, am I right? Just a quick word of advice on tuners though, not all tuners are created equally, and just because they say they're getting more boost doesn't mean they're safe. Specifically here for the Ecoboost guys, we're talking about tuners that are on the market that are what some guys call boost fooler. These tuners work by creating additional resistance on the wastegate sensor, causing your wastegate to build more boost than the factory. Seems like an easy win, right? Wrong! Well, sure, they do fool the engine control module to build more boost. The rest of your engine control is not ready for that additional airflow. This can lead to problems like check engine lights, throwing the truck into limp mode, or even worse, literal engine detonation. That means that the choice to save a few $100 up front on a tuner is now going to cost you thousands of dollars to rebuild your engine. Instead, look for tuners that have built-in safety features like the Banks Power Derringer tuners, or those tuners that are going to reflash the entire ECU, as they're going to make sure that not only are you getting more boost, but you also have the fuel to keep your engine happy and healthy for years to come. Do you guys have a performance mod to avoid? Let us know down in the comment section below, and be sure to share the video with a buddy if you haven't already. With that, I'm Dustin with Custom Offsets. We'll see you guys on the next one.